Take on the culture of death and win.
You don't like abortion, don't have one.
The only thing that can be said to be objective truth is that there is no objective truth.
It does come out in one piece. It comes out in one piece.
I would argue that we certainly are not all created equal.
And now, here's Mark.
The Dems are coming. The Dems are coming. The Democrats are coming. The Democrats are coming. You're listening to your radio activist, Mark Harrington, here on the Mark Harrington Show. You can find out more by going to markharrington.org and also find us on my social media platforms. The Dems are coming. The Dems are coming. I say that because the Democrats are coming to town, to our hometown here in Columbus, actually the suburb of Columbus, Westerville, Ohio, next week, October 15, for the presidential debates. And you wonder why I say the Dems are coming. The Dems are coming. Well, it harkens back to the phrase that was erroneously given to Paul Revere and his great, the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. He actually didn't say that. I'm not sure where the phrase the British are coming came from. It didn't really come from Paul Revere. But anyway, the point is he was warning the colonists that the British were coming. Whether he said that or not, we're not sure. But we do know the Democrats are coming. And they're coming to Ohio. They're coming to Columbus. They're coming to Westerville, Ohio, Otterbein University, right in the heart of it all, the headquarters here for Created Equal, the organization that I head up. And of course, as is our habit, we will be there. Whether it was in Columbus or not, we were going to be there. In fact, we've been to all but one of the presidential debates. We were at the one in Detroit, Michigan in July, where yours truly got handcuffed and detained, and we're now suing the city of Detroit. And we were at the one in Houston, Texas, just last month for that debate. So we're going to be at every single one, including the one here in Columbus. So much of the eyes of America will be on Columbus, Ohio, or should I say Westerville, for this fourth presidential debate. And it's nice that the Democrats are going to save us some time and travel. We're not going to have to book plane tickets. We're not going to have to pay for fuel. We're not going to have to round up a team and go on the road, which is what we would normally do for a presidential debate. We are going to have to just go 5 minutes down the road here, where they're going to hold it here at Otterbein University. And, we are doing everything we can at Created Equal to put abortion, child killing, feticide, if you want to call it, on the debate agenda. Because right now, the candidates, the Democrat Party, are doing everything they can to keep from discussing this. And there's a reason for that. Because they don't want to. Because they're so absolutely extreme on abortion. They believe that every single one of the candidates that'll be on the stage, all 12 of them on the 15th of October here in Ohio, support abortion all the way up to the very moment of birth. And I dare say even infanticide. And so if you're at one of the presidential debates or candidates, why would you want to talk about that? I don't know. And of course, the mainstream media, the Democrat media, the fake news are doing everything they can as well to keep this issue off the agenda. It's interesting that at the last debate, it was not brought up. As far as I know, at the Detroit debate, it was not brought up. Abortion was not brought up. And Hillary Clinton, the failed candidate for president back in 2016, bemoaned this fact. The fact that they're not debating abortion. She said, quote, "In the last Democratic debate, there was not a single question about abortion rights," she said. It has to be a critical issue in 2020. So we have failed candidate Hillary Clinton bemoaning the idea that this issue, abortion, child killing, is not being debated. Well, here's the thing, folks. She need not worry, because 2020 is going to be all about abortion. And these candidates have been doing everything they can. In fact, they're falling over themselves to discuss this, even though the mainstream media hasn't been bringing it up, and even though the debates haven't been bringing them up. And here's why: because we are now in this whole impeachment frenzy, and impeachment to me means is everything to do about abortion. It's everything to do about Roe versus Wade. Because the Democrats know what you and I know, what the polls show for the most part, and that is they do not have a candidate. They do not possess a candidate that can beat Donald Trump in 2020. And they know a vacancy's coming. They know it. It's going to happen next summer. Ruth Bader Ginsburg is likely going to be stepping down. And they know that the replacement of Ruth Bader Ginsburg is going to seal Roe versus Wade, the fate of Roe versus Wade. And they don't want Donald Trump to have the opportunity to replace him. That's what impeachment's all about, folks. I mean, it's about Roe v. Wade more than anything else. So the Democrats are coming. They're coming to Columbus, and hopefully you can join us. If you are listening to the sound of my voice in Columbus or Detroit or Cleveland over our Salem radio stations, then you can join us. You can come out and join us at the Democrat debate in Columbus, in Westerville, at Otterbein University on the 15th of October. You can come out. Now, if you want to get a hold of us, here's how you do that. Give us a call, 614-269-7808. That's 614-269-7808 if you want to be part of our protest of the Democrat presidential debates here in Columbus at Otterbein University. Or you can simply email us as well by going to contact or writing us at contact@createdequal.org. That's contact@createdequal.org to find out more. So we want you to come out, folks. We need people to come out. I mean, think about this. We have, for the first time in American history, have an entire political party in America who believes in abortion up to the very moment of birth and are defending it as hard as they can. And we need to push back. If the body of Christ, if Christian believers, those who claim the name of Jesus, are unwilling to raise their voice against this evil, when will we be willing to do that? If you're a Christian, you're listening to the sound of my voice, or a pastor, a leader of a flock, a Christian leader, why aren't you rallying the troops to come out and raise your voice against this evil? We are supposed to be a prophetic voice. The church is the pillar of the truth, the pillar and support of the truth. If we fall down in the streets and we're unwilling to defend preborn babies to the extent that they say they want to kill them in the womb at the very moment of birth, I dare say there'll be nothing we're willing to stand up for. This is a litmus test for us as believers, folks. If we won't come out and defend preborn babies against this diabolical evil, then we probably won't do it any other time. And don't fall for this idea that it's political. So what? I mean, if this were any other individual person or organization or company that was supporting child killing, we would hopefully be out exposing that and exposing those who support it. Just because it's so-called political means that doesn't mean that because of Christians it's off limits. No, in fact, it probably gives it more reason why we should be there, because politics is worldview. It's all about worldview. And we should be contending for the Christian worldview in the public square. So you got to come out and join us, folks. I mean, it's in our own hometown here in Columbus. For those who are listening on WRFD 880 AM here in Columbus and in the Central Ohio area, you need to get a hold of us. Again, here's the phone number, 614-269-7808 or contact@createdequal.org. We'll let you know where we're going to be, when we're going to be there, and we will hold up the standard of Jesus Christ, the public square, and the sanctity of human life, and defend preborn babies against the evil that's coming from our political, the political Democrat party. So anyway, again, to 614-269-7808 or contact at createdequal.org. Join us, please. Now, when it comes to this debate next week, Otterbein University is hosting it. Otterbein's a university. Otterbein is supposedly a place where ideas are supposed to be discussed, right? At least that's what we believe that universities are supposed to be. Unfortunately, that's generally not the case anymore. They are more than likely just indoctrination centers of the left. And Otterbein is very liberal. And they have put into place some restrictions on free speech. Now, Otterbein is a private university, so they can say, well, you can't come on our property. I get it, right? I get it. But you would think for a Democrat debate, presidential debate, where they're supposedly welcoming debate on critical issues that face America, that they would put no restrictions, or at least very limited restrictions on speech on their campus. But no, if you go to the city of Westerville's website, which lays out the rules that they have put into place regarding so-called free speech, which isn't free on the campus of Otterbein, they have restricted all speech to the sidewalks, the public sidewalks of Westerville. They're saying that, quote, this is according to the website itself. This is an excerpt from the site. It says, please note, and it's in bold, please note, Otterbein University is a private campus. Absolutely no free speech activities may take place on private property without express written consent of Otterbein University. I mean, come on, really? Absolutely no free speech. I mean, I get it. It's private. You can keep people off if you choose, but why would you? Come on. They ought to be welcoming folks to come to their campus and allow them to express themselves. Now, I understand the government has legitimate time, place, and manner limitations they can put on speech. And I understand they have the right to keep you off the campus and put you on a public sidewalk. I get all that. But why? Why not allow people in America to express themselves? What is so wrong with that? Other than they are out to control the message. Being a liberal college, all I can think is they don't want people to come onto their campus and say whatever they want. They want to control it. And they've got the Democrats there, presidential candidates for the Democrat Party, and they want to sanitize what comes out to the media. That's my only guess. Now, I don't know that for sure, but it sure seems like it. And, the reason I bring this up is I've become a little bit jaded over the years, a little cynical, if you will, to the idea that governments, universities, and others are really out to protect our First Amendment rights. Because I've seen it over and over and over again, how they'll say they want to protect our rights. They'll give us lip service and they'll provide some sort of opportunity to do that. But when it comes down to it, they really want to limit it. They want to put us in a place where we really can't reach the people we came to reach, like they did in Detroit. And that's why we're suing them. That's what they want to do. They just want to say, okay, well, you can have free speech, but you got to be over here. It's got to be during this time and this place, and virtually no one's going to come by you. The right to the First Amendment, the right to free speech, isn't the right to catharsis. In other words, it's not the right to just stand in go into a closet and start screaming or whatever. The First Amendment is predicated on the right to reach the audience that you intend to reach. And so my fear is, once again, we are going to find that at these presidential debates, that these governmental agencies, and in this case, it's the Otterbein University, is going to limit access to the people that go inside and the candidates and so forth. And they're going to keep us far, far away. Well, we're going to do everything we can to not let that happen. Obviously, we're going to press the issue with them when we arrive. My hope is that at least we can get up close enough to reach those who are going inside, and Otterbein will not restrict us from doing so. But according to them, they're going to be absolutely no free speech. It says absolutely no free speech activities may take place on the private property without express written consent from Otterbein University. It's crazy. Now, this isn't unprecedented, folks. We've seen this before, unfortunately. Years ago, we had Otterbein try to shut us down. The student government attempted to actually buy, get this, they actually tried to buy the sidewalk in which we routinely conduct our outreach at Otterbein University. Public sidewalk, which is the sidewalk which is owned by the city of Westerville, Ohio. It's part of the public infrastructure, okay? It's a public sidewalk on a private university in which they attempted to buy it in order to keep us off of that location. If you don't believe me, I'm going to play a clip here. If you would, Mr. Producer, cue this up. This is from several years ago. If you think that I'm overreacting to Otterbein's restrictions on speech, hopefully this will clear it up. Go ahead and play this clip. This is from several years ago where they tried to, at least student government, tried to get the city of Westerville to sell Otterbein this piece of property, this public sidewalk, so that we would not be able to use it for free speech. Go ahead and play that clip.
Koisman call created equals demonstration inappropriate.
It hindered students on their way to use facilities in the campus center. It made them feel unsafe.
I think it's unfortunate that this group feels that they need to be so militant, particularly to young people, particularly to young women.
The problem for students opposed to groups protesting here is that this is private property owned by Otterbein, but you step down and you're on public property owned by the city of Westerville. That means any group can protest right here in the middle of campus.
So we go to the public sidewalk, which is available for us to express our free speech rights.
But what if the sidewalk became unavailable for demonstrations by becoming private property? That's what Burnside proposed to student government. Buy the sidewalk from the city.
They're all about
By
free
purchasing
speech,
the
baby.
sidewalk space, we are only trying to move the protests, not stop them.
But the city of Westerville says the sidewalks aren't for sale.
Nobody
Public
can see
sidewalks are public infrastructure, and generally they don't go up for sale the same way private property would, or a house might go up for sale.
Created Equals says
we
even
can end
if
it
they
there
did
if you want. So here we go. I mean, if you don't believe me that Otterbein is in the business of trying to restrict free speech by what I'm saying in regards to this presidential debate coming up, that Otterbein is a private campus and absolutely no free speech may take place on private property, which of course I guess they have the right to keep you off. It's just, why exercise that so-called right? Why not allow the First Amendment to be exercised, especially when it comes to a presidential debate at your university? But it's interesting. In years ago, when they tried to purchase this sidewalk from the city of Westerville to keep us off of the campus, you heard from the student government leaders there that our presence was making it unsafe for students. Unsafe. This is the genesis of these so-called trigger warnings, where they want to warn students that there might be something that they might be exposed to that might be offensive or off-putting, that it might be unsafe. It's interesting that colleges, supposedly, the original intent was this is where you would be exposed to all kinds of ideas, a multitude of them, right? That was the point. It's a marketplace where young people are supposed to be exposed to all kinds of points of view to establish their own worldview. But nowadays, what they become are basically private social clubs where there's indoctrination going on and they're being coddled, protected from speech that the university might find offensive. So they create these safe zones, trigger warnings, and they treat them like snowflakes, where they're so delicate. These students are so delicate that they can't handle discussing the issue of abortion. At Otterbein, we routinely run into students who cover up our displays with bed sheets and all that kind of nonsense. So it's not beyond understanding that that Otterbein might try to restrict speech during this presidential debate coming up on October 15th. They also said that we're militant. What is militant about us? I mean, we take out photos, prenatal photos and abortion victim photos to university campuses. How is that militant? That's just education. I mean, we're just showing the photographic evidence of the most prevalent medical procedure performed in America. Actually, we're doing them a public service. And then they said, well, they just wanted to move it. Well, yeah, I know where they wanted to move us. They wanted to move us out into some field somewhere where nobody could reach us. That's the intent of all of this. See, I love it how universities will say they're for free speech, but they'll say, well, but you can't do it here, and you can't say this, and you can't reach these people. And that's what's been happening at these presidential debates, and it looks like it'll be happening at Otterbein. Now, I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll come back on the radio here and come back and say Otterbein and Westerville police treated us fairly and gave us access to those entering the debates. But from what I can tell, it looks like another police state happening here in at the next presidential debate. Hopefully, I'll be proven wrong on this, but I unfortunately I kind of doubt it. Now, switching gears, our road trip for life. Our students are traveling across America right now. We have already been in the state of Texas. Obviously, we're doing outreach here in the state of Ohio. And this week, we were also in the state of Michigan, visiting several college campuses using our Jumbotron technology. This is a gigantic LED screen displaying video of abortion victims. And we take this to college campuses around the country. And what I wanted to do is play for you a clip. This is a clip from a TV station in the Detroit area that was reporting on our visit, our outreach at Oakland University this week. If you would, Mr. Producer, go ahead and play that clip.
Using college jumbotrons to go front and center to spread a message. The team made its way to Oakland University today and will now head to Eastern Michigan University. 7 Action News reporter Kimberly Craig spoke to students who have mixed reactions about this.
This is the first of several days where this graphic, hard-to-watch anti-abortion video will be played on jumbotrons on university campuses. They call themselves justice riders. Others call them intrusive.
You should focus on the woman that wants the abortion and let her have that because that is her choice. That is her body.
It may be a choice, but it's not right, and it's not her body.
The reactions were varied as Oakland University students walked past the graphic video on a loop displayed on the Jumbotron and the enlarged images placed by the sidewalk.
The purpose of showing it is just to illustrate exactly what is happening, and so we can get past some of the rhetoric and actually have a real conversation about what's going on.
I don't like it. It was too much. I mean, I get why they do it, yeah, but to be bombarded with it out of nowhere is it's a lot.
It really does open my eyes that it's a bad thing and it hurts other people's lives.
They're from an organization called Created Equal, and they use the Jumbotron because they say Americans need to be educated about the violence of abortions.
Amen.
And today, Oakland University police remain watchful as they sought the attention of students to get what they call a mind change.
So that's whenever somebody is for abortion for any circumstance, and then they become completely against abortion by the end of your conversation and say that it should be illegal. So that counts as a mind change.
I told
that's all right. We can stop it there, Mr. Producer. So as you can tell, folks, we're having impact all across America on college campuses, despite the efforts of some universities to limit our speech. This is an example at Oakland University this week in Michigan, where we are changing hearts and minds. We average between 30 to 50, somewhere in there, minds change, complete conversions on abortion while we're there. Finally, folks, if you are praying for me, pray as I head to London, England, for a bit of time off. I'm also going to be speaking at the Clarkson Academy, put on by the Center for Bioethical Reform UK, the Clarkson Academy there in London, England on October 19th. I'll be speaking on the issues of social reform and the use of victim photography in changing public opinion. So pray for me, pray for my trip, pray for travel, pray for open hearts and minds. And we look forward to being with our good friends there at the Center for Bioethical Reform UK. So again, the Clarkson Academy on October 19th. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. God bless you. God bless America. And remember, America, to bless God.
You've been listening to Mark Harrington, your radio activist. For more information on how to become a witness against the evil plague in America, call Created Equal at 614-269-7808, 614-269-7808, or go online to createdequal.net, createdequal.net. Be sure to tune to The Mark Harrington Show next time for your marching orders in the culture war.